Hi all, welcome back to i-TUTOR IAS Academy Tamilnadu History NCERT series. Today we are discussing Unit 5, that is Rise of Magadha and Alexander's Invasion. So the rise of Magadha was driven by strategic location, strong rulers like Bimbisara and Ajatashatru, economic advantages from iron resources, and military innovation, culminating in its dominance over other Mahajanapadas. And Alexander's invasion occurring during the rule of the Nanda dynasty was motivated by a desire to conquer and explore, and while it didn't reach Magadha, it exposed the weakness of disunited Indian states and facilitated trade and cultural contact with the West, indirectly paving the way for the rise of Mauryan Empire under Chandragupta Maurya. So, this is the base of this chapter. So, here we will discuss further. In the beginning of the 6th century BC, the northern India consists of a large number of independent kingdoms. Some of them had monarchical forms of government, while some others were republic. Okay. So, in the republics, the power of decision in all matters of state vested with the public assembly, which was composed of the tribal representatives or heads of the families. So all decisions were by a majority vote. Okay. So the Buddhist literature Anguttara Nikaya gives a list of 16 great kingdoms called 16 Mahajanapadas. Okay. So look at this Indian map of the 16 Mahajanapadas. So you will get a better idea of the location. So this is the map. You can Google it also. Okay. So this is 16 Mahajanapadas of ancient India. So they were Anka, Magadha, Kashi, Koshala, Vaji, Malla, Chedi, and Vatsa, Kuru, Panchala, Malsya, Surasena, Ashmanka, Avanti, Gandhara, and Kamboja. So these are 16 Mahajanapadas. Okay, so here it's all Mahajanapadas in this map. And the Jain text also contain reference to the existence of 16 kingdoms. So, in course of time, the small and weak kingdoms either submitted to the stronger rulers or gradually got eliminated. So, finally, in the mid 6th century BC, only four kingdoms, that is Vatsa and Avanti, Koshala, and Magadha survived. Okay, so they are the four kingdoms. So, discussing each one. First one is Valsa. The Vatsa kingdom was situated on the bank of the river Yamuna, and its capital was Kosambi near modern Allahabad, and its most popular ruler was Udayana. He strengthened his position by entering into matrimonial alliance with the Avanti, Anka, and Magadha. After his death, Vatsa was annexed to the Avanti kingdom. Okay, so next is Avanti. Second one is Avanti. The capital of Avanti was Ujjain. The most important ruler of this kingdom was Pradyota. He became powerful by marrying Vasavadatta, the daughter of Udayana. He patronized Buddhism. The successors of Pradyota were weak, and later this kingdom was taken over by the rulers of Magadha. Next one is Kosala. Ayodhya was the capital of Kosala. King Prasenajit was its famous ruler. He was highly educated, and his position was further strengthened by the matrimonial alliance with Magadha. And his sister was married to Bimbisara, and Kashi was given to her as a dowry. Okay, so here is the entry of Bimbisara, and subsequently there was a dispute with Ajatashatru. After the end of the conflict, Prasnajit married the daughter of Bimbisara. After the death of this powerful king, Koshala became part of Magadha. Okay, so this is the last fourth one is Magadha. Of all the kingdoms of North India, Magadha emerged powerful and prosperous. It became the nerve center of political activity in North India. in this time. Magadha was endowed by nature with certain geographical and strategic advantages. This made her to rise to imperial greatness, and her strategic position between the upper and lower part of Gangetic Valley was a great advantage. Okay, so this is the strategic position between upper and lower part of the Gangetic Valley, and it had a fertile soil. The iron ores in the hills near Rajgir and copper and iron deposit near Gaya added to its natural asset. And her location at the center of the highways of trade of those days contributed to her wealth. And Rajagriha was the capital of Magadha. Okay. During the reign of Bimbisara and Ajatasattu, the prosperity of Magadha reached its zenith. So, Bimbisara. Who is Bimbisara? Okay, Bimbisara belonged to the Haranyaga dynasty. Its time period is 546 to 494 BC. Bimbisara. Okay, he consolidated his position by matrimonial alliance. So his first matrimonial alliance was with the ruling family of Koshala. He married Koshala Devi, sister of Prasenajit, and he was given the Kashi region as dowry, which yielded large revenue. Bimbisara married Chelana, a prince of the Lichavi family of Vaishali. And his matrimonial alliance secured for him the safety of the northern frontier. He maintained friendly relation with the Avanti, and he had also efficiently reorganized the administration of his kingdom. Okay, so Bimbisara was a contemporary of both Vartamana Mahavira and Gautama Buddha, and however, both religions claim him as their supporter and devotee. He seems to have made numerous gifts to the Buddhist Sangha. Okay, so Buddhism and Jainism he followed. Next is Ajatasattu. The time period is 494 to 462 BC. The reign of Ajatasattu was remarkable for his military conquest. He fought against Koshala and Vaishali, and he's won a great success against the formidable confederacy led by the Lichavis of Vaishali. This had increased his power and prestige, and this war lasted for about 16 years. Okay, so war lasted for 16 years, and it was at this time that Ajatasattu realized the strategic importance of the small village and Padali Grama, that is future Padaliputra. Okay, so first known as Padali Grama, and he fortified it to serve as a convenient base of operation against Vaishali. So Buddhists and Jains both claim that Ajatasattu was a follower of their religion. And according to Mahavamsha, he constructed several chaityas and viharas, and he was also instrumental in convening the first Buddhist council at Rajagriha soon after the death of Buddha. So, first Buddhist council held at Rajagriha. The immediate successor of Ajatasattu was Uddayin, and he laid the foundation of the new capital at Pataliputra, situated at the confluence of the two rivers, and the Ganges and the Salt. Later, it became famous as the imperial capital of the Mauryas. Udayan's successors were weak rulers, and hence Magadha was captured by Shaishunaga. And thus, the Haranyaka dynasty came to an end, and the Shaishunaga dynasty came to power. Okay, so this is end of Magadha and the Haranyaka dynasty. Next one is Shaishunga dynasty after Haranyaka dynasty. The genealogy and the chronology of Shaishungas are not clear, and Shaishunaga defeated the king of Avanti, which was made part of the Magadhan Empire. After Shaishunaga, the mighty empire began to collapse. His successor was Kakavarman or Kalashoga. Okay, Kakavarman or Kalashoga. He is the successor of that, and during his reign, the second Buddhist council was held at Vaishali, and Kalashoga was killed by the founder of the Nanda dynasty. So next one is Nandas. So please follow the chronology of these all dynasties. Okay, so it will help you. And the fame of Magadha scaled new heights under the Nanda dynasty. Their conquest went beyond the boundaries of the Gangetic basin, and in northern India they curved a well knit and vast empire. And Mahapadma Nanda was a powerful ruler of the Nanda dynasty. He uprooted the Kshatriya dynasties in North India and assumed the title Ekarat. 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 Okay. According to the Buddhist tradition, Mahapadma Nanda ruled about 10 years and he was succeeded by his 8 sons who ruled successively. The last Nanda ruler was Dhanananda. He is the last Nanda ruler. The enormous wealth of Nanda is also referred to in the Tamil Sangam work, that is Ahana Nuru, by the poet of Mamula Nar. Okay, Mamula Nar work is Ahana Nuru. The flourishing state of agriculture in the Nanda dominance and the general prosperity of the country must have brought to the royal treasury enormous revenue. The oppressive way of tax collection by the oppressive wave of tax collection by Dhanananda was resented by the people. Taking advantage of this, Chandragupta Maurya and Kaudilya initiated a popular movement against the Nanda ruler. So it was during this time that Alexander invaded India. So that is the Alexander invasion started from Nanda dynasty's end. Persian and Greek invasion. So in between there is a Persian invasion also. So what is the first one is Cyrus. Cyrus, it's around 558 to 530 BC. Okay, Cyrus the Great was the greatest conqueror of Achaemenid Empire, and he was the first conqueror who led an expedition and entered into India, and he captured the Gandhara region. All Indian tribes to the west of the Indus River submitted to him and paid tribute. So his son Cambyses, that is Cambys, had no time to pay attention towards India. So that is about Cyrus. So first one for the Persian invasion. And next is Darius 1. Darius 1, that is 522 to 486 BC. Darius I, the grandson of Cyrus, okay, conquered the Indus Valley in 518 BC and annexed the Punjab and Sindh. This region became the 20th satrapy of his empire, and it was the most fertile and populous province of Achaemenid Empire. And Darius sent a naval expedition under Skylas to explore the Indus. So this is the second one, and Xerxes, that is third one of Persian invasion, and that is around 465 to 456 BC. Xerxes utilizes his Indian provinces to strengthen his position, and he deployed Indian infantry and cavalry to Greece to fight his opponents. But they retreated after Xerxes faced a defeat in Greece. And after this failure, the Achaemenian could not follow a forward policy in India. So, however, the Indian provinces were still under their control, and Darius III, okay, enlisted Indian soldiers to fight against Alexander in 330 BC. So it is evident that the control of Persian slackened on the eve of Alexander's invasion of India. Okay. So what are the effects of the Persian invasion? So effects of Persian invasion are: the Persian invasion provide an impetus to growth of Indo-Iranian commerce. Okay, that is first one is the trade. Okay, and also it prepared the ground of Alexander's invasion, and the use of Kharosthi script, the script known as Kharosthi, a form of Iranian writing, became popular in northwestern India, and some of Ashoka's edicts were written in this Kharosthi script. And we are able to see the influence of Persian art on the art of the Mauryas, and particularly the monolithic pillar of Ashoka and the sculptures found on them. So the very idea of issuing edicts by Ashoka and the wording used in the edicts are traced to Iranian influence. In short, the Iranian connection with the India proved more fruitful than the short-lived Indo-Macedonian contact. So that's the effect of the Persian invasion. Next is Alexander's invasion of India. The time period is 327 to 325 BC. And campaigns of Alexander the Great, that is this map about, you can google it, that will more clear for you. Okay, so please google it, this campaigns of Alexander. And first one is political condition on the eve of Alexander's invasion. After 2 centuries of the Persian invasion, Alexander from Macedonia invaded India. On the eve of his invasion, there were a number of small kingdoms in northwestern India. The leading kings were Ampi of Taxila, the ruler of Ambizara, and Porus, who ruled the region between the rivers of Jhelum and Chenab. So, this is the political condition on the eve of Alexander's invasion. Causes of the invasion. What are the causes of Alexander invasion? Alexander ascended the throne of Macedonian after the death of his father Philip in 334 BC. So he conquered the whole of Persia by defeating Darius III in the Battle of Arbela in 330 BC. Okay, so he also aimed at a further conquest eastward and wanted to recover the lost Persian satrapy of India. Moreover, his interest in geographical enquiry and love of nature history urged him to undertake an invasion of India. He believed that on the eastern side of India there was the continuation of the sea. And according to the geographical knowledge of his period, and so he thought that by conquering India, he would also conquer the eastern boundary of the world also. So this is about the causes of this inversion. And Battle of Hydaspes. What is Battle of Hydaspes? In 327 BC, Alexander crossed the Hindu Kush mountain and spent nearly 10 months in fighting with the tribes. So there, that is a tribal area. And he crossed the Indus in February 326 BC. And with the help of the bridge of boats, and he was warmly received by Amphi, the ruler of Taxila. And from there, the Alexander sent a message to Porus to submit, and but Porus refused and decided to fight against Alexander. Then the Alexander marched from Taxila to the bank of the river Hydaspes, that is Jhelum. Okay, river Hydaspes known as Jhelum. On the other side of the river, he saw the vast army of Porus, and as there were heavy flood in the river, Alexander was not able to cross it. So after a few days, he crossed the river, and the famous battle of Hydaspes was fought on the plain of Kari, and it was a well contested battle. And although the Porus had a strong army, he lost the battle. And Alexander was impressed by the courage and heroism of his Indian prince and treated him generously and reinstated him on his throne. Okay. And Alexander continued his march as far as the river Bias and encountering opposition from the local tribe. He wanted to proceed still further eastward towards the Gangetic Valley, and but he could not do so because his soldiers refused to fight, and the hardship of prolonged warfare made them tired, and they wanted to return home. And Alexander could not persuade them, and therefore decided to return. He made arrangements to look after his conquered territories in India. He divided the whole territory from the Indus to the Bias into 3 provinces and put them under his governors. And his retreat began in October 326 BC. So it started from February 326 BC. Okay. So his retreat began in October 326 BC, and the return journey was not free from ordeals, and many Republican tribes attacked his army. Anyhow, he managed to reach beyond the Indus. Okay, so on his way, he reached Babylon, where he fell seriously ill and died in 323 BC. So that is the end of the Alexander era. So that is the end of the Battle of Hydaspes also, and effect of Alexander's inversion. So what are the effects of Alexander inversion? And the immediate effect of Alexander's inversion was that it encouraged political unification of North India under the Mauryas. And the small The system of small independent state came to an end, and Alexander's invasion had also paved the way for direct contact between India and Greece. The routes opened by him and his naval exploration increased the existing facilities for trade between India and West Asia. However, his aim of annexing the northwestern India to his empire was not fulfilled due his premature death, and his authority in the Indus Valley was short-lived. One because of the expansion of Mauryan Empire under Chandragupta Maurya. So that is the end of Alexander's era, and this is all about the Mahajanapadas. Okay, so it's all about this chapter, this unit. So far we discussed the rise of Magadha and the different dynasties ruled over it, and the achievement of Bimbisara, Mahapadmananta and other kings, and Persian invasion and their occupation of northwestern India. And also we discussed effect of Persian invasion and occupation, and causes and cause of Alexander's invasion of India, and effect of Alexander's invasion of India. So we discussed these points, and here questions, it's for short notes. Okay, so you can write a note on 16 Mahajanapadas and Cyrus, battle of Hydaspes, effect of Alexander's invasion. So these are the questions for your short notes today. So today we end here with these questions, and for more content do like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you so much.